we are not done fighting, because there are still 6 million people who were left out of that. Now, we're lucky today to have Cristian Avila with us. He's part of Mi Familia Vota. He was a leader in the fast for families. If you hadn't heard about that, that was a fast for 22 days on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. And their sacrifice, their dedication, really recaptured the momentum in this fight and fired up the imagination of this country. So please join me in welcoming Cristian, who is a spark.
I am a spark. Thank you all for inviting me to this great event. I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about me and my story. But actually, my story is not unique. My story is the same story that many Americans in the room that we shared. When I was 9, my family decided to take a trip, to make the hard decision of leaving everything behind and join a journey that we didn't know if we were going to make it or not. The only thing that we had was hope. The hope that we would have a better life. The hope that me, my brother, and my sister would have a better education. So from Mexico, we found ourselves in Arizona. You know, Arizona brings a lot of things to mind, right? Desert, cactuses, lovely leather boots, but also a horrible law called SB 1070. SB 1070 brought so much fear to not only immigrants and Latinos that didn't look like Governor Brewer. It didn't matter if you were undocumented or a citizen. The police have now had the right to racial profile you, especially Latinos. I was frightened, to be honest, but it also inspired me to fight back. I joined Mi Familia Vota because I was tired of having closed doors. I was tired of having roadblocks in my education. I was tired of seeing my dad's hands dry, massage the feet of my mom's feet when she came from work. I was tired of seeing the fear that my parents had every time there was a cop behind them. And as a child, I remember how we had to crunch down onto the floor of the car because we were so afraid of the cop. I learned that at an early age, people looked down on me and told me that I didn't belong in certain places because of the color of my skin. I also learned when I was a teenager that I didn't qualify for certain scholarships, not because I wasn't a good student or because I didn't have good grades, but because of my legal status. And even though I was raised in Arizona with my friends, I got 30 in that state, I still don't qualify for in-state tuition. I have to pay more than 3 times the same amount of somebody that has the legal status to be here. But I'll tell you what, SB 1070 didn't just bring negative things. It also brought us closer together as a community. It shows the strength that we had when we stood up for what we wanted, and we roared for the demand of justice. But we have come far from those days. We have marched, we have protested, we have registered people to vote, we've gotten arrested through civil disobedience. In 2013, we were able to pass a bill past the Senate, but we got stuck in the House. And that's where a lot of people lost hope. And the reason why I didn't give up on immigration is because I understood my father's and mother's sacrifice for us to have a better education, for us to have a better future. And the only way to pay them back was for me to get an education. So giving up on immigration reform was the luxury that I didn't have. So that's the reason why I joined the fast. That's the reason why I decided to fast until my body couldn't handle it any longer. And I joined Eliseo at the Capitol. But going 22 days without my frijoles was worth it. We made a huge impact and we made a statement. Congress failed to get us there. but President Obama gave us DACA and DAPA. I'm excited to be a DACA recipient, and I'm excited that nearly 5 million people will now get the chance to work legally and be safe from deportation. I'm not going to stop there. I'm not tired, I am not sad, but I'm fueled to continue going forward. Because they're still my parents, they're not going to be able to apply for this relief. So every time I come out of Phoenix and do work, I'm afraid my worst nightmare might come true. I'm afraid I'm going to get a phone call that one of my parents got picked up. Only a real immigration reform will have them relief from deportation and give them what they need. Only a real immigration will get people like my parents the chance to be Americans. But I think Americans, it's not about having a set of papers that said so, right? It's about aligning with the values that this country was founded upon. So in that sense, wouldn't you agree the dreamers are already Americans? The parents of dreamers are already Americans. Hard-working immigrants are already Americans. Now we have to get Congress to give us the opportunity to be so on paper. So today, I ask you, not for me, not for my brother or my sister, but for millions of families across the country to join this fight. To give the opportunity that we all deserve, to pledge of allegiance to the United States of America and become citizens. I encourage you to visit us at the iAmerica booth or visit us at iamerica.org and continue the fight. Si se puede.